Yo! Oh! What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? We have a nice video, which is the Porsche Panamera. Oh, I've seen there's this guy. He's on TikTok. His name goes by Forrest Jones. I believe that's his TikTok, and like he does like a bro, like he travels around the world and like reviews cars from all over on the world, and he did a video on this one. So we gonna see how it is. Yeah. So let's see what Carwow has to offer, because I seen this car on Forrest Jones's page when he did a whole a whole feature about it. So yeah, let's do it.
And here's one of its new features. When you open the door, it raises up on its air suspension to make it easier for you to get in, and then it lowers down again when you close the door.
Clever, but is the rest of the car clever? Well, I'm going to be finding out by testing its performance,
Bloody hell.
checking the interior quality,
Oh, me of little faith, look at that.
and then at the end I'll be telling you exactly what I think. And I'll show you an alternative car which could be a good option instead. I'm Matt Watson and you're watching Carwow.
Wait, I'm just realizing, what the hell am I doing? Bro, chat, I'm literally just reacting to a video of a car that I probably may not even buy in the future. But hey, you guys are loving the video, so hey, I gotta keep giving it to y'all, bro. I feel like that I am like bro, it feels like I am a salesman, bro. But it is what it is, bro. You guys like it, so I'm gonna keep giving you guys what y'all want. So as long as you guys are happy, I'm happy. So it is what it is.
This is the third generation of the Porsche Panamera, and
I
it
feel
looks
like I
like
am
Porsche
a
has finally got
salesman.
its head round how to design it without it looking a little bit fat. See, there's the first generation, that's the second generation, and here we are now. Much better. Also, it's got the front end design that's first seen really on the Cayenne. I really like these creases in the bonnet, very aggressive.
Hold on, chat. Hold on. Hold on. You guys know me. I'm gonna edit all this out. You guys know me.
And these air vents, all the air vents here on this Panamera are real. It's just the way Porsche does it. Now let's move down the side. Alloy wheels start at 19 inches. That's going to be too small for this car. These are 21s and they fill the arches just right. You're going to need at least 21s on it. Once again, there's some breathers down the side there. Real. No fakery. I love the fact that Porsche hasn't given it the poppy outy door handles of the 911. Proper door handles. Here we go again. Much nicer. Also, the whole glass area is slightly like sleeker than before. Makes the car look more sporty, really emphasises these real haunches. It's a Porsche, you know, it's got to look sporty. And I like the fact that the charging port cover, oh god, it's locked, classic. Oh no, it isn't. It's not overly large like on some other cars. Moving around to the back, so this is all redesigned as well. It looks familiar, but it's slightly different. So you've got a one-piece rear spoiler.
Top specification
Versions had like a two-piece. I actually preferred that. It looked cool when it extended. One thing I really like about this one though is this. Look, we've got frameless back window. Just don't, whatever you do, get anything caught there, because you will be getting yourself, well, I was going to say chopped off finger, but also replaced glass screen. Now, the rest of the back of the vehicle, slightly redesigned. We've got real tailpipes, no fakery here. And yeah, you can actually see the proper exhaust pipes in there. Question is though, how much does this car cost?
Well, the entry-level rear-wheel drive Panamera starts at £89,400. An all-wheel drive Panamera 4 is £3,000 more, and the faster GTS costs from £131,000.
Oh no, I lied, chat. It was this one. It was this one that he did a video on. It was the GTS. That one is when the wing just open up like these. It's that one.
£700.
Yeah,
this car is
it's
a
not this one.
£99,000
It's a
4E hybrid.
GTS
But there's
one.
also a more powerful 4S E hybrid for £110,000. The Turbo E hybrid is £151,500, and a range-topping Turbo SE hybrid costs over £175,000. If you prefer to lease your car, this Panamera 4E hybrid costs you around £1,250 per month. A top specification SE hybrid will be around £2,330 per month.
Now, if you're thinking about changing
they all
your car,
look the
you
exact
absolutely
same.
have to go onto Carwow. You can buy new cars through Carwow. So what are you waiting for? Click on the pop-up video to go to Carwow. It's completely free. There's even a
Bro,
really high quality.
Just wait till you see the cabin.
The interior of this Panamera feels really high quality. Should point out though that this car has a load of options on it. In fact, there's so many options on this car, you could buy an actual car for the value of the options. More on that later. But generally, the build quality is really solid. Like, you look at the stitching here, it's nice and straight. Be careful though, if you don't order the extended leather, you end up with a polyurethane dash rather than this. And in this kind of car, it absolutely needs a leather dash. And it's all logically laid out in a very Germanic way. I like the way that the infotainment screen is integrated nicely into the dash, and it's very easy to operate as well, and it's slick and it's quick, and it works really well with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There we go. It's fairly
the interior looks nice.
And you have some cool
it looks
features
nice
as well. Look at this. You have some performance data, so you can look at things like your slip angle and wheel slip and your brake and throttle. You can check out the actual PSI and bar of your tyres, and it'll show you the energy distribution and your energy consumption and stuff like that. So that's all very cool. The digital dials are nice and clear, very nicely laid out as well, and you can toggle through different settings and different views. Really like that. Very good. And it's good to have like the huge sat-nav display on there if you want it, although I prefer to just go with the old Speedo because you need that in this car because it's rather fast. In terms of the seating position, well, you get electrically operated steering wheel, and generally the seating position is lovely, though you can sit quite low, so it feels really sporty, but there's still plenty of adjustment to raise it up if you're short. There are some things that aren't so good though. For instance, this is the gear selector. I don't mind that being there, it's fine, but the start button's over here. Why don't they just put it all together? And then I really like the fact that you've got actual physical buttons for the fan speed, the temperature.
I'm not gonna lie, but they should have put the push start button like probably like in the center and stuff like that. Probably like follow like the Lamborghinis and just put it right in the middle instead of you have to put it like right beside the steering wheel. Yeah.
Just settings for the climate.
That's my take
there. But then things for like the seat heating, it's a haptic feedback like touch panel like that. Still better than having to do it on screen, but there are some things you have to do on screen, and one that's completely bizarre, which I'll show you in a bit. In terms of storage, there's not much under this armrest, even though this center console is huge. That's where your 12-volt socket is. Got this little divider there. Just cars. You got two cup holders there, but I kind of feel like they need a cover on them. They're always exposed, but it's decent enough size for putting your bottles in. Underneath this cover is your mobile phone charging, and you've got your USB-Cs there as well. The glove box is big and it's lined with felt, so that gives it a premium feel. It means that things don't rattle about inside there. Speaking of premium feel, oh, that feels nice. And the steering wheel pedals, real metal. Though you probably never use them, you're just going to stick it in automatic mode. Anyway, I got sidetracked. Door bins are large enough, so it's a huge bottle, and you can fit one of those in there. Generally, the whole car feels like it would be hard wearing. It's not just luxurious. Apart from one thing, all this black plastic trim, it's so easy to mark. I mean, there's somehow or other a scratch on that bit there, and it's so...
Hold on, Chala. I'm hearing something, bro. It's like a whistling noise. Hold on. Okay, bro. Like I'm hearing something. It's good.
Sort of, like you do look at that quite a bit. That's annoying. Still, I don't think that any of this car's competitors feel as nice as the Panamera does.
However, is it as good for people in the back seats?
So knee room is pretty good. Headroom's all right. People over 6 foot will just about be okay, but I think that something like an Audi RS7 does have a little bit more space in the back seats. And if you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner up there, or scan the QR code on screen now. Now I should point out that this car has the upgraded individual rear seats. So rather than a 3-seater bench, we've got 2 more sportier feeling seats, and you can recline them. They have lumbar support. They also have a massage function as well, and the massage is actually pretty decent. You can feel it. You also get this screen in the back as well, so you can control the infotainment system and things like that. I mean, to be fair, you're not going to use that much other than for the rear climate and stuff, because you're just going to use your phone if you want to look at a screen. You've got 2 USB-Cs there for charging your phone. There's some storage under here. Come on, there we go, with the cup holders there, and you can alter bits and pieces. Look, that pops up there as well. Or is that to remove it? I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know. This car also has rear blinds. Look at that, neatly integrated. Actually, while we're at it, let's just see what happens when we put the window down. Does it go all the way? I don't think it will. Oh, me of little faith, look at that. That's good, it's a win. Oh, something else I forgot to show you. We have an armrest with some more storage, once again lined with felt. But on this seat selection, There is also through loading as well, which is handy, helps aid the practicality. Big capacity, so it ranges from 490 down to 420 litres. Now in terms of loading and unloading, there is a bit of a boot lip to lift stuff over, but it's not terrible. Oh, this is heavy, but I'm just about okay with it. It's a very square shape, but it's not very deep, so you won't be able to have big boxes in here. Something else I want to show you, just remove the load cover. I quite like how you do it with these handles. It's actually fairly easy. Now, if I want to fold down the rear seats, all I have to do is lean in. And then you can see, it's not the easiest, but then you can use the load cover, look, to push it up. I've got to move the front seat. There we go. That was easy, seamless. You do get a nice big low bed there. There's a bit of a gap there, which could be a bit of a problem when you slide things to the front. Wait a minute, what's this? Look, we've got a 12-volt socket. That's handy. What else have we got here? Oh, a handle. What's beneath here? Bright orange cables, which means high voltage. Let's just put that back. What I'd like to do now is store this underneath the false floor. It's a big old unit, isn't it, this? And yeah, there's no place to store it under there. And that brings us to 5 annoying things about the new Porsche Panamera. Do you remember in the good old days of owning a car, when you wanted to change the direction of the airflow from the vent, you just like moved a slider around? Not anymore. Now you have to press the climate menu, and then you have to do it with these electrical things on the screen like that. So that's too slow a process when you're driving. And what's the chances that this breaks once you've had the car for about 10 or 20 years? Just more things to go wrong. Porsche likes to charge a lot for options and likes to put many things that should be standard on the options list. That's why this car has £38,000 worth of options. Now there is one option on this car that really shouldn't be an option, and it's the ISOFIX anchor points on the front passenger seat. Great to have them, but they're only £150. Why make them an option? Make them standard, because some poor soul will forget to tick it and they'll really regret it, and it's not worth it for 150 extra quid, is it? The whole pod on the top of the dash in the centre with the speaker and the little stopwatch reflects badly in the windscreen depending on where the sun is lying. Look, can you see it's just there?
Damn.
Look, it's quite distracting, isn't it? Bizarrely for a Porsche, even when you're in like the sportiest setting, you can't lock it in manual mode. So look, I'm on floor in first gear and it auto changes up even though I haven't pulled the paddle. Normally a Porsche will let you bounce it off the limiter, but not here. I think that's a hybrid thing. When cold, the brakes make a weird creaking sound. A little bit like the hull of a ship, like when it's creaking as it's going over a rough sea.
Why is the rum always gone?
Wow, that's amazing. That's not all though. If you balance the brake pedal in a certain way, you can even make the brakes make this weird noise like the death cry of some prehistoric creature. However, it's not all bad, and that actually brings on to 5 cool things about this car. See, Porsche has worked on the brake feel for the new Panamera. They fitted it with a special e-brake booster, and that's designed to blend the regen braking better with the normal friction braking. We'll find out exactly how that works when I drive it in a bit. If you look inside the wireless charging pad, you'll see there's a little cooling fan vent at the back, so if you leave your phone on there charging, it doesn't overheat. The new optional matrix LED headlights can be used to obviously blank out part of their beam when you're approaching oncoming drivers. That's nothing new, but what they can also do is illuminate the lane that you're travelling in on the motorway, and it'll even go narrower when you're coming to roadworks or if you're driving on a narrow road. That's not all though. When you go in Sport or Sport Plus mode, the directional effect of the headlamps is increased, so they'll actually turn through the corner quicker as you're turning the steering wheel to make sure it's nicely illuminated for that corner you're about to blast through. You can get the car with rear axle steering, so you can move the back wheels at just over 2 degrees either way depending on how you're turning the steering wheel. So look, you'll see it move the back wheel there, so it's going in the opposite direction to the front.
Do you know what else brand that actually does that too? Mercedes. Yeah, I've seen someone actually turn in and like the steering wheel, like it was turning. It is like the wheel that shit was like turning like this way. I'm like, damn, bro, that shit's crazy, bro. Yeah, Mercedes, they do it too as well. But like, bro, like I'm not lying, but it looks way better on a Mercedes rather than like a Porsche.
And then if you
it
turn
looks
the other
good
way,
though.
it'll go once again in
That's nice
to the front.
feature,
Makes the
though.
car more manoeuvrable at lower speeds, but as you get faster, those wheels will actually turn the same directions as the front, and it will actually make the car feel more agile, help it turn through some corners. We'll be trying that out later on while I drive it. Cars fitted with active ride don't have normal anti-roll bars. Instead, they use the dampers. And what they can do is something called active tilt control. So if you activate that, what it does is stops the car from leaning either way when you're going into a corner. Same thing with accelerating and braking. So it controls the pitch of the car. So when you're accelerating or braking, it stops it diving under braking by pumping oil into the dampers at the front to prop the nose up. All very clever, designed to keep the car nice and flat at all times.
But what about engines? Well, the Panamera and Panamera 4 come with a 2.9 litre turbocharged V6 that makes 353 horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque. The 4E hybrid adds an electric motor to produce 470 horsepower and 650 Newton meters combined. A more powerful 4SE hybrid ups this to 544 horsepower and 750 Newton meters. The GTS gets a 4 litre twin turbo V8 with 500 horsepower and 660 Newton meters. And the Turbo E hybrid combines this V8 with an electric motor for 680 horsepower and 930 Newton meters. The most powerful Panamera, the Turbo SE hybrid, has 782 horsepower and 1000 Newton meters of torque. But which version should you go for?
Well, it depends how you're paying for the car ride. If you're paying for it with cash or just financing it yourself, then I'd probably have this version. But if I was having it through my company as a company car, then obviously you're going to go for one of the plug-in hybrids because they're much cheaper in terms of company car tax per year. Depreciation is always a killer on big luxury cars such as this, and you can minimize your risk by leasing one instead of buying one. And in some ways, depreciation can also be your friend if you're buying used. So what I've actually done is gone to CarWow and found a used Panamera that's a great deal. Click on the pop-out button up there or scan the QR code to see the car. Now this car might be big, but it's not as bad to drive in town as you might think. You may want to jack up the seat though if you're of average height like me, then you can sort of judge where the front corners of the car are. In terms of visibility, it's not bad either. So if you're at the back's okay. These do create a bit of a blind spot. You've got these extra little windows there which help. The door mirrors are fine. It's all good. I tell you what's also good, the brakes. So sometimes hybrids can be grabby. These are smooth brakes. They don't feel quite as on it as like the brakes in a 911 sports car, but they feel quite natural. In terms of driving around town, if you're in hybrid mode, it's just going to be an electric only really. And there's plenty of zip from the electric motor as well. It's also quite maneuverable for a big car because this one's fitted with that rear axle steering. So turning circle 11.4 meters, but will I make it around here? I'm using the camera system here to help me out. Now if I do, this is going to be impressive to U-turn here. The steering itself in this car, it has got a bit of weight to it because it's a Porsche and that's what you want from a Porsche, but it's not bad. It is nice to drive in town, it really is, and you feel isolated from the outside environment as well, so if there's noise going on, you don't really notice it. It's a lovely thing. Oh, and it's comfy over bumps, very comfy. Okay, when it comes to overtaking, so rather than just flooring it in hybrid mode, you can make the pickup quicker. So we are at 40, right? And what I'm gonna do is hit sport response and look what it does. Sport response, then floor it. And it gives me just maximum performance straight away, and there's a lot of performance to be had. Blimey, this thing absolutely flies, and then you can just disengage that. And when you're cruising at speed, this thing is comfy, it's quiet. All you get is a bit of noise from the tyres because you've got big sporty tyres on this car. In terms of the economy, I'm averaging 29 mpg at the moment, which is actually a little bit less than I had because I've been driving around in Sport Plus to have some fun in this car. But when I was just cruising and driving around normally in hybrid, I was getting about 35 mpg. Now Porsche do say that this will do like 250 miles per gallon, but that's on the test cycle and they're just skewed to benefit hybrids. The reality is if you're not really charging it religiously and using a lot of hybrid mode, then you are going to get about 35 mpg. But when you consider the weight and the performance of this car, that's pretty good still. And to put it into context, I ran an Audi RS6, which does have more performance than this, but you know, similar car in a way in terms of big heavy performance car, and that was doing about 22 mpg. But really, if you can afford something like this, you don't give a toss about your economy. It's more about the official emissions figure for getting a reduction in your company car tax. If you're a high rate taxpayer, this Panamera 4E hybrid would cost you just over £9,100 per year in benefit in kind tax. A non-hybrid Panamera 4, however, thanks to its higher CO2 emissions, would actually cost you almost £13,700 per year in tax. And for comparison, the RS6 I mentioned earlier will cost you almost £17,000 per year in tax. But despite its hybrid credentials, does this Panamera e-hybrid still feel like a true performance car to drive? Right, now let's get into that Sport Plus mode. So maximum attack, sharpens everything up, including the dampers and the suspension, but it's still quite comfy. And you can really benefit from that clever active ride system, which stops the car leaning in the bends or diving under braking. It really is impressive. You can tell this is from the Porsche family. I've got a 911 fun, and you got the same sort of feel of the steering and everything about this, and the way it handles just feels sportier than many other cars. You know it's a Porsche. It's got like a solid, capable performance slant to it, and it can be good fun. I do like the rear axle steering. You can feel it turning the car through the corner more aggressively as it's just getting the back end coming around, and then the performance you got coming out the corner, woo! You know, this is a V6 engine, but that hybrid system also helps just fill in the gap in power before the turbos have spooled up. It's a fine handling car. Is it the kind of car I'd go out in the weekend, you know, just for a blast? No. But if I'm doing the longer journey, I might take a detour off the motorway to take in some twisty roads just to enjoy the handling. Overall impression then? Yeah, this car is really nice to drive, and it's just so smooth and effortless and quick. The whole hybrid system just works very, very well and seamlessly. The electric motor just blending with the engine, the gearbox, it's all very fine-tuned. You can tell a lot of money has been spent on the development of this car, and it makes you feel special.
But what about raw acceleration? Well, Porsche says this car should do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4.1 seconds. But let's find out what the reality is.
Here we go, hybrid power. Launch control. Bloody hell, that just hooked up like crazy. My goodness. 0 to 60, 4.3 seconds. So then, what's my final verdict on the new Porsche Panamera? Should you avoid it, consider it, shortlist it, or just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist it because it is a really, really good car, if a little bit on the expensive side. So I said at the beginning of this video, I'll give you an alternative to this. Well, do you know what? For the same money as this car I have here, you could have a used, low mileage Bentley Continental Flying Spur. It's food for thought, isn't it?
No, for me, like, I wouldn't buy that car, but I'd rather have the Porsche Cayenne Turbo S, cause that car, like, it can hold like you know, a large amount of people, and plus, like, it has the performance. Like, I would take that rather than the Porsche Panamera any day. So yeah, I wouldn't take the Bentley Continental. I would take the Cayenne Turbo S over the Panamera. Yeah, I would. So yeah, that would be all for today. If you guys are new, hit that subscribe button. I see you on the next video. I got a gameplay on Sunday, because when I drop this video, it's gonna be dropped on Saturday. So yeah. I love y'all so much. I see y'all on Monday. So yeah, I see you guys on the next video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and get me to 1,000 subs so I can get monetized. So I see you on the next video. We out. Peace. We out.